All right, I think we are live. Hopefully, you all can hear me out there. Just testing to see. Maybe I'll open up another browser and see if it's working. All right, let's see here. Yeah, okay. Think everybody can hear me. So yeah, if you're tuning in, which I don't see anybody tuning in yet, which is good because I kind of got to figure this out, and I think that's why I'm here. I did invite some people on the off chance that they can show up and see and test with me. So why don't I type something here and see if it works? Sitting it in, which I see here. So hello. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's all. Okay. Hey, you don't know till you know, right? So I'm not recording this thing. As I said, this is just a test. I think I'll go through some paces here and see what it looks and sounds like. I guess let's do a test on screen sharing. So screen share to share screen. And let's see. What do I want to do? Share entire screen? Is that what I want to do? What are you guys looking at here? Ooh. Oh, I don't think that's what I wanted to do. How do I do this now? Okay, so just going through this here. How do I unshare this screen? Stop screen sharing. Okay, there we go. Let's say stop screen sharing. So let's try this again. So what I want to do is I want to share a screen share, allow to share window. I hit share this window. How does that look now? I think that's what I want to do. Oh, oh, that was working. Okay. Okay, I could see it on my, but how do I split screen that then so that I can see? Okay, if I say sh- share screen, share entire screen. So I go to Toy Arc. I go back here, will it show? It's going to show here. I go half screen. So I assume then that you lose the ability to see yourself on screen in the comments, but that doesn't make any sense. Hmm. Okay. Try screen share again. Share screen. Okay, so how do I make this screen? No. Oh, this is terribly frustrating. Okay, what else? Zero window. Oh, annoying. Aight, aight, aight. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. I see some people are in the room. Sorry about that. I'm just testing Restream, being new to this live streaming thing. So thank you for checking it out, and I apologize uh, for the painful process that you're witnessing. But I did just want to test the audio and video, as well as the screen sharing option. It was really just my intent this evening, and I just did invite a couple of fellow collectors to see if the link worked, to see inviting people backstage. If you're there and listening, can you let me know if you can hear me and how the picture quality is? So, of course, we're having a look at Toy Arc right now, the Sideshow Clip 2 figure. So, if you're not familiar with Sideshow's recent release, they've done a Scum and Villainy line from the OG, the original trilogy. Hey, hey, Frank. Oh, so good to see you, brother. So, can you hear me and see me? Trying to just navigate this, as you know. If you get a chance, try that link if you don't mind, or if you're available, and just test to see if how to admit somebody and have somebody come into the show. Jumping on you for a bit. Oh, awesome. Thanks, buddy. Really appreciate that. Awesome. Thanks, Frank. Yeah, by all means, feed the pup. So yeah, like I was saying, this is cool. This is like their Scum and Villainy line. So they've done some of the bounty hunters that you see in the cantina scene, uh, and this is one of the so this is the latest figure from that line. So I think they're priced around 300 USD. Now, keep in mind that these are sideshow figures, so these are not hot toys. And with sideshow, some people really like their 1/6 scale figures. Others have complaints about the quality of the material degrading over time. I have the Ahsoka, Anakin, and I have the Padawan Ahsoka, Anakin, and of course, um, Obi-Wan from Clone Wars, 3D, as well as so both Padawan um, and then full on Jedi. Ahsoka from that series. I have not articulated them. I've kept them in the box. I've taken out Ahsoka specifically, both the Padawan and the older version. But I don't really articulate them. I pretty much leave them as is and take them out of the box for display. But there's definitely a quality difference between the sideshow and the uh, certainly between that and Hot Toys. So here you are. So here's your Scum and Villainy. So these are the characters that Sideshow has picked for that line. Bit Fortuna. You can see some really great characters here. And again, a lot of the characters that we saw in the OG, the first one. Um, and so, yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, listen, it's certainly priced quite high at 300 USD, but it's Sideshow. So let me take a look here. So May 2026 on this one, and yeah, priced at 280 USD. So as I was saying, around $300. Now the Sector. So this is interesting. So of course, as you know, Sectors was re-released by Nacelle. They made the decision not to release the mounts on the first wave, and I think that may have cost them with the fandom. So now they are actually finally releasing the mounts. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and we'll get back to a bit of the blurb, but I believe they decided to altogether skip the one of the characters, one of the generals is not actually coming out in wave two. I think in order to get this done. Now, what's really, really cool here is you can see there is a light up function on the eyes, which is awesome. And one of the things that Nacelle has done, which I think is really neat, is they've actually um, made these wings interchangeable with the vintage toys, which is actually really neat and maybe a big selling point for fans of this line and people who had the originals, because as you all know, these wings were extremely fragile. And when I say like extremely fragile, I mean like paper thin. So that's really neat, the light up function in the eyes. And again, it's really neat that these can actually be used on the original ones, the vintage ones. Here's another mount. I really like these. I mean, it's not a line that I would collect. So there's General Spidrax, which is cool. But I don't believe he's part of Wave 2. I want to say he's Wave 3. General Spidrax, Warlord, but his. Right. So maybe I misunderstood then. Wave 2 Dragon Flyers, Wave 2 Spidrax. Oh, yeah, it's part of Wave 2. That's awesome. Yeah. So you can see there's quite a bit being released here. The complete bundle. So that's in the cell stuff that's coming out, which again is, if you're somebody. Oh, Frank is back. Awesome. Let's see. Frank, my friend, if you can try the link, that would be great. Frank Dumonu, is that where? Let's see. Am I supposed? Oh, there we go. That's how you do it. Hello, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you? Yeah, yeah. You can obviously hear me. Thanks for
Okay, yeah,
joining, my
it's a
friend.
bit different.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to figure. Oh, wait. Is there somebody else here too? Oh, no, that's me.
It, it
There's
looks like it. What
there's
was that?
two of me. I don't know why there's two of me. I wonder if it's because I'm sharing my screen. But I'm
Maybe.
trying to figure out this screen sharing where I can actually look at the screen and keep it within the main box. I'm sure there's a way. Um, Looking at the videos, the YouTube tutorials, it was like an hour and a half tutorial, and I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to do that tonight. If I'm being honest. So how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Just
Yeah.
nice and tired from last night.
Okay. Oh, did you actually finally get on live last night?
Well, yeah, I was towards the end and then went over to M3's
Oh
and
my God.
we
Okay.
were up till I think it was almost 4 my time.
Oh yeah. So 7 a.m. his time, which is bananas.
Oh, no, no. M3's on West Coast too. but there were
Oh
some,
yes, 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 yes. Okay.
Queen Bee was on and some other people, it was a late, interesting night.
Listen, I love those guys. I really do. I mean, you take them for, you roll with it. You appreciate that there's a humor to it. There's no ill intent, and
Yeah,
I think when all is said and done, um, it's a cool crowd.
yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, yeah. So that's
Just
cool.
keep
Yeah, yeah.
the
So,
politics.
yeah, that's yeah, not on the tube, but yeah, yeah. And then of course we know sometimes things are said that, maybe
Gets
not.
out and sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, but that's all good. I love those guys so much. I really do. So I think it's important. Listen, I think one thing is that it's got to be a safe, inclusive space for everybody,
Yeah,
and
right.
that means even people that you may not agree with, or who have different views, whether they be, political, social, all those type of things. And as long as it's a safe space and you're making it safe for anybody to come into, I'm down with it. But when people start becoming hateful and actually targeting people, that's where I kind of draw the line, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So how's everything now? Now, may I speak about the recent events in your life? I mean,
yeah.
are you doing well? Like, first of all, I'm sorry for your loss.
I appreciate
Um,
that. Thank you.
I've owned 5 dogs in my life. I'm down to one, and it's every time it's like a piece of me goes with them as they cross the rainbow bridge, and
Yeah,
it's a bond unlike any other.
yeah. You know, it's gonna be the for a while, like where it just you get reminded of of something, and then all the feels. But she was a really good dog. She had lots of problems, medically,
Hmm.
and then just mentally. We had rescued her. She was probably like 2 years old when we rescued her, and we had her for like 12 years. So
Okay.
she would have been 14 later this year. But
Okay. Wow. Okay. So, and yeah, and with that, I think sorry, I didn't. I just want to add that with the rescues, I think people have to realize. Like, I see a lot of videos in my thread because I'm a dog person.
yeah,
We don't have children, so dogs are a thing. And you see all these people, shop, don't no adopt, don't shop, but I think sometimes they kind of minimize the amount of work that goes into rescues,
hmm,
like you said. Like, I mean, it's, sometimes they come with a lot of baggage and a lot of issues, and the reward is true, and it's real, and the unconditional love is there.
yeah,
But I have had friends in my life that they weren't successful adopters with rescues. It didn't
yeah.
work out for them.
I mean, it all depends on the people adopting. It depends on how bad the dog was before they got that dog. And it's like you
Right.
just don't know. Like we didn't know. We only know like she was out probably running in the streets for at least almost 2 years. Like her whatever life she had when she was probably backyard bred,
Hmm.
and then
Yeah. Yep.
got loose, or they let her go or something, and she was running in the streets for quite some time, and then she got picked up and put in the Humane Society over here, and then there was only a few people who felt comfortable going into the kennel with her because I guess she was afraid, so she was like just growling at everybody and all that stuff. But my girlfriend went in there, and then she's like, we're just gonna take her. Our other dog needed a friend, and so brought her home, and she adjusted. She got, we still took her to training and stuff like that, and she got better. But certain things just never were going to go away because of what she went through. But she was a good dog. Really good dog.
Oh, she was beautiful. I mean, the pictures on Instagram were amazing. And as I said, listen, and I'm a real believer in this. And you see those things where people say we don't deserve dogs. It's the truth, right? It is the only sentient being in your life that will show you absolute unconditional love.
Every time you come home, it's like, even if you just went outside to get the mail, and you come back, and then they're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's and and it was weird because I don't mind sharing, I'm 52. My parents died when I was very young. Um
Mm,
and I know that I had friends that were like, "Wow, dude, you're really grieving for these dogs. Like I didn't even see you grieve like that for your parents." And it's not that it's not that you love the dogs, but it's a different attachment and a different bond and hits in a different way. And it's a very real loss, and you can't minimize that loss, and so and it affects people differently. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, dog people get it, non-dog people don't get it, and I respect both sides of that coin. Um,
some people just don't have that same, like, like they treat their dogs like their kids. Some people don't feel that that's the right thing to do, and some
Correct,
people, they'll leave their dog in the backyard all the time. They're not inside. They're not family, basically.
correct. That's
It's like
right.
just guard
Yeah,
dog,
yeah,
yeah. And
yeah,
that's, it's not like it's against the law.
that's right.
um so it's just however you deal, you want that to be, that's what it is. And we also, we don't have kids, we're not going to, and we those are our fur babies. So
100%, my friend. If you had told me 20 years ago, and my wife and I laugh about this all the time, that I was going to be walking downtown and my dog was going to be wearing a Louis Vuitton dress, I would have told you you're out of your mind. But yeah, here I am going to Louis Vuitton, going
oh
like, how much for this dress, right? I'm like, what has my life become? Like,
yeah,
where did I go wrong? But this is what it is, right?
yeah,
So, but again, thank you for listen. I just want to say my condolences.
thank you.
And I thought the amount of response you got on Instagram from everybody across the community was really cool. And I
Yeah,
hope you
it's
felt the love
unexpected.
from
Yeah,
everybody.
no,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Well, Just Jeff, are you familiar with Just Jeff?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I
you're
remember he was having issues with his dog not too long ago,
with
and
Dobie, yeah,
had to,
yeah. And then he did a crowd fund, and everybody stepped
yeah,
up, and he got massive. I mean, I was one of the people who donated, and it was just great to see
yeah,
how many people rallied around the community. I think it is a good community. I know there is drama, and I know there's a lot of drama sometimes, but by and large, people are good people, and they want to, do well within the community. So,
yeah.
um,
It's
so yeah,
kind of
so
funny
you're
how some of that drama starts where it's just about how somebody says something about toys, and then they all get crazy.
Dude, I know. Hey, Ultra, right on. Ultra's here.
Yeah,
That's so cool. Hey, Ultra, I'm glad you found us. That's awesome, dude. So yeah, I mean, I listen. I don't know any story, and I'm certainly not going to get into it. But I did come across the screen the other day. Sorry, a stream, and something went down somewhere with some show, and some
yeah.
threats were made or something, and some anyway, it was nuts, man. I mean, I tuned in for about 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm out of here.
I
Yeah, I
watched
just
like
did you
almost
did
that whole thing. I know which
did
one you're
you?
talking
Okay,
about.
okay.
You don't have to say who or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, 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 yeah. So I thought that was pretty wild, and that's a whole lead. But that's what I was just saying earlier is, despite those moments, by and large, the community doesn't get along. So this is awesome. So do you follow Ultra on Instagram at all?
I believe I'm subscribed, but I don't really I don't really see much on his stuff.
No, but no, no, no. And what me neither. It's interesting, but when you do come across it, so late like this weekend, of course, and you're gonna hate me, Ultra, but he's on the Anime Comic Con. There's a name for it. Okono, or okay, I ruined that. I
Yeah,
understand. But anyway, but he's taking pictures of all these wild cosplayers.
yeah,
Um, and well, you saw the ones I sent you the other day of Living Dead.
yeah. Those are great.
Oh my God, those were bananas.
I love
Cosplay's
I love
awesome.
watching those and looking at how people just come up with the costumes, not just big booby, less clothing type stuff, but just the characters and the how because a lot of times the person doing or wearing it actually created it, or they have a friend that helps create it, and then they go wear
That's
it for.
right.
So that's always been interesting to me. I used to like watching a lot of the contests all the time at like all these conventions.
So are you yourself like do you do a lot of conventions?
And I would say probably 10, 15 years ago was like the last, like
Okay.
where I would go to almost all the ones in my area all the time.
Okay.
Not really like out of the Bay Area here, but like, because I've never been to like San Diego Comic Con. The furthest south I've gone to a convention was BlizzCon 2015, I think it was. Yeah, that
Cool.
was
Okay.
the video game company and stuff like that. So, and that was a crazy like they had a crazy contest where they all came up on stage and did all their posing or
Yeah. Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
mimic the video game that they were dressed up as or whatever. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember BlizzCon actually back in the day. But yeah, yeah, I mean it's interesting. So I'm like you. I don't really do the big ones here in Canada, and we have kind of like the SDCC for us is called the FanX, so it's massive, and we get all the stars here, and it's a really big event. It's like a 4 day event, but I do a quarterly one that's like a smaller show where you get to know the people, and what I've been able to do, and the reason I like it is I can kind of pre-schedule sales. So before the show, they'll send me like text with all the stuff they have, and they I can say, okay, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So I can budget ahead of time. They already know ahead of time that they're going to get those sales. So it's like it's this great like dynamic. And when you
Are
get to
these
know
just
people,
vendors or are
yeah,
they?
they're just vendors. Yeah,
Oh,
they're just collectors. Yeah, yeah.
I've never heard of that here. Like anybody doing that here, but I wonder if they do. That's interesting.
Yeah, like I'm sure like at Joe Fest, for example, like you've got a bunch of people that are just like their own vendors, right? Guys, collectors who just rent a table because they want to get rid of it. So those are the guys I get to know. Because yeah, the toy stores don't really like we don't have the level that you guys have, like in terms of like in the States, like Toy Federation will have like a massive area, Eternia Dreams, that kind of stuff. Like we don't really have anything like that. Ours are really predicated around collectors like you and me, and you can see behind you and behind me, who just over collect stuff and say, okay, I'm renting a table and I'm selling like all my right, like all
That'll
my
be me in
classified.
some, probably at some capacity with my friend that probably has like 10 times as much as I do. And we would just end up like paying for a table or two and then just sell it all one day or a few times a year or something just to
No, no,
get rid
but
of
it's
it
yeah, and
eventually.
it's a great way of getting rid of stuff, clearing up room. There's one guy who I know who does that. Like he's like a compulsive buyer.
Yeah.
And so he just sells it so that he could just buy more stuff, right? And it's just a great way of and the
Upgrade
tables are
or
cheap.
change out the old
Correct.
to the new. That, yeah, no,
Correct.
that's the way to do it.
I think so. I
I
think
mean,
so.
especially
So
when you're limited on space, right? You don't want to just keep buying it and then it just flows out into areas in the house that you're like, pissing off your better half
yeah, 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 yeah.
or whoever if you
That's
have
right.
somebody or whatever. But I had another friend that doesn't live too far from here. He had a house down a few blocks, and he just his whole house was just when you walk in. He primarily collected Star Wars and like Day of the Dead or like the zombie stuff and
Okay.
primarily Star Wars. And man, that it just looked like a museum, like the whole house, kitchen, everything. Like even the
Wow.
bathroom had some stuff where he just decorated it with, his
Wow.
collectible stuff. And it's like, oh, and then he ended up like getting married and moving into a different house. So he had to change it up. And so he just has like a bigger, like, almost like a giant library room, and then some of the other stuff in the living room. He's was able to put some stuff out, and it's still really cool to go over there. And then this new house, that house he bought, had like a built-in theater, so he was
Oh,
doing
damn.
movie nights like every
Oh,
Friday
damn.
and all this other stuff.
Cool.
It's
That's
pretty
cool.
nice.
Yeah, that's neat, man. That's really neat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I've never cosplayed. Ironically, as you probably could guess, I work in the corporate world, and what's funny is I was at a conference last year and I wore this stormtrooper pin, and out of nowhere, the CEO of one of our partners walks up to me like the straightest, most conservative man I've ever met in my life, and he walks right up to me and he goes, I need that pin." And I go, which one, the stormtrooper? And he goes, no, no, you don't understand. He goes, I must have that pin. And I go, are you part of the 501st Legion? He goes, yes. So I started laughing and I go, you are part of the 501st? And he's like, yes, yes, yes. So he starts showing me all these pictures. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And so it
Yeah,
like it's interesting. And he was like, oh, I'll turn you on to some guys. Once you buy a suit, you can do the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, that's
that's
yeah, yeah, that's not my thing, dude.
like
Like I
the line for me.
Yeah, yeah, like, I so appreciate it, but it's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't
Yeah,
know why.
my friend Jonathan, who I used to work with, he lives in like the or East Bay from me, but he is in the same 501st, and he dresses up like I can't remember if it's like the Death Star gunner
Okay. Yeah,
or
yeah,
one
yeah.
of like the officers with the gray and the little like bars,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
blue and red,
Imperial officers, yep.
something like that. Yeah, and he loves it. They go into like these hospitals or whatever where they the kids are, and they go dress
Yeah.
up and just like go around just putting smiles on their faces and stuff. It's pretty cool, but I can't dress up. Last time I
No,
dressed up was
yeah.
Halloween when I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
a lot younger.
yeah,
That's my cosplay.
yeah. That's great. Yeah, yeah, I've got an old, like I bought an actual Gryffindor robe from when we went in the UK to do the whole thing. We bought like authentic one, so
Yeah,
we always do a Harry Potter thing at Halloween. But yeah, no, I'm with you. But yeah, no, they do incredible charitable work. That's the thing at the end of the day, right? Like they really do good stuff at the hospitals and stuff. So I kind of enjoyed it, but it was just freakish to just see someone come across the room like that and be like, I need that pin. And I was like, oh damn, what's going on here? We're gonna fight for this. Listen, that She-Hulk, by the way, is awesome. With
I
the
like it. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I'm not like too like crazy about Fantastic Four, but it's like the other one, but now she's like got the team suit on. But I like that she comes with a different head sculpt instead of just the big, froed hair that you cannot really pose.
yeah.
You can hardly turn and and move, and it's like this is so much better now that she's just, and the ponytail can actually come out, but you can like whip it around and pose it like if the wind's
Oh,
blowing.
so the other hair actually
Yeah,
limits
you
her
can just take it out.
articulation.
Yeah,
Got you.
but
Okay.
you can just like have it, like just
So
like
Ultra was asking, is that a new She-Hulk figure?
yes, it is.
Okay. Okay.
And
So
it's in stock on BBTS if you need one.
yeah. Now the barbell, I love that. Where'd that come from?
In the set, she comes with
Oh, it
two.
actually came with it?
Yeah,
That's
she comes
great.
with like two hands to hold two barbells. She has the peace sign on the left hand and then the thumbs up on the right hand, and then she has the two fists. So she comes with, and then the other head sculpt. The Yeah, it's like
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, I don't, okay. Hold on a second. How do
There.
I make you wait? How do I maximize? There we go. Oh yeah, yeah. But that one, yeah, I could see where you would that would limit
I
the
mean, this is a
articulation of the head.
classic like look of her from the comics too. So
Right,
it just sucks that it's not rubbery enough, to like,
right.
because it just, her shoulder with it just laying over her shoulders, it will not really
Yeah,
like
it's
hold.
terrible. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
But it's still a great like sculpt if you want like the hair out. But I actually like the hair with the ponytail. It's pretty cool. She has a like more of a smirk on her face too, a little
yeah. That's
bit.
let me see. Okay, also let's make that. Oh yeah, yeah. I like that actually. Actually,
Yeah,
that's a nice face sculpt.
yeah. And she is like, you know, taller as she should be.
Oh wow. Well, she should be though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
from
yeah.
Marvel Legends, she's
Of
like
course. You know, she
that.
totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's the classified beside.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess she's 7 inches. So she's about the size of like a Masterverse figure.
So are you so and I know, listen, first of all, you gotta go, you gotta go. You don't feel obligated. I know we're on your probably dinner time, whatever, and we're just testing tonight. So I appreciate any time that you're here.
I'm all good for a good
Yeah,
amount
yeah.
of time before I
Okay,
get
no worries.
hungry. Hour.
But no, no, if you don't mind. So you started, which is interesting, and this way I always liked it. But so what do you have more of? Classified or Marvel?
I think classified.
So you are primarily a joke because I know you have a big Transformer collection. And when I first met you, I actually thought you were like almost a Transformer guy.
Well, because that's what's behind me, and that's what you mostly
Right,
see all the time. And to
right.
be honest, that's what started me back up probably in 2017 was Transformers. But
Okay.
I was still collecting like the 3 3/4 GI Joe because there was no new stuff, so we were going to the like toy shows in the area all the time, and I'd find the vintage vehicles that I used to have, and I was starting to buy them all again. And then 2020 came, and it was like, oh, there's GI Joe coming out in 1/12 scale, so I'm like, oh shit. I was like, I can't like get bold. So I'm like, I just made the decision and say, okay, packed it all away. I'll probably end up selling it later. And then GI Joe came out, or Classified came out, and I just started collecting that. And then that sped up really quick because then they started dropping. They had their little stumbles in the beginning because they were trying to make figures from the video game that they tried to launch, and everyone was like, just do retro, just do classic, like they're
Right,
like,
right.
don't do anything new, just do the old stuff over again in 1/12 scale. And it's like, so that started happening, and it's like, oh, it is cooler. So I just started getting all that, and then as you see, like I'd ship stuff to Kaz of the older stuff that I had, and I still got a bunch of it that I still need to get to him at some point.
Yeah, isn't that great? That's first of all, right. I mean, Saint Frank, right? You've become like legendary with it. But listen, I mean, what's cool, I think I'm a lot like you with the Star Wars stuff in that um I had the entire vintage collection when I was a kid, literally like the entire collection. And as I grew older, girls, everything got out of like toy, like certainly didn't hold on to any of that. And then when the time came where I started looking at going back and collecting, I actually really didn't like the vintage sculpts anymore. Like
Yeah,
they felt very, like the likeness was off, everything was off to me. So like I totally made the decision. I was like, you know
straight
what? Right. Like it suddenly was like, oh, this isn't what I was looking for. And so I made the decision to just, ooh, this is gonna get bright for a second. Okay. Um, to go with modern sculpting just because it was a more accurate representation of the characters that I liked. And Santa Frank. I love it. That's good. And now you look at like I don't know if you saw that new Anakin and Obi-Wan on top of the lava pit, like, and then even the Vader like chopping off Luke's hand.
Well,
That they have
that is,
that scene.
I even thought about still trying to pre-order that, but I was like, I don't want to go too crazy into Black Series. I only get little bits of it because missed that boat when all the Black Series started, and
Right.
it's not like I can't still get into it because they'll re-release characters eventually over, and you can just get the updated ones, and
Correct.
then you can catch up that way. But I can't because I just don't have the room for all of it, and it has to stay in this room. So it's GI Joe, Transformers, Masterverse, and then I have my sprinkles of the smaller lines, and then some Black Series where I just collect some of those off, like cool things like the
Hmm.
Visions
The Ronin.
figures and the
Yeah.
yeah, so stuff like
Yeah.
that. Where I was like, it's different enough where I just want to get it because it's not Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca. Even though I still like them, I'm good with just the movies and the the animations or whatever that I could still watch. I don't need the toys for those, all the time. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think it's interesting you said that because it's kind of weird. There's a part of me that's like, okay, cool. I guess I could always use like a new Ahsoka or a new whatever, but there is also a part of me that's like, guys, like, let's start making new unknown characters, like deep cuts. Give us something like how many Luke Skywalkers do I need? Right? Like I mean, there are some people who have entire collections dedicated to a single character,
yep, oh yeah,
right? And you could do that easily on a lot of different IPs, right? Like you could have just Han Solos and have literally 1,000 pieces, right? Or stuff like that. And it's kind of like, yeah, anyway, but I feel like if you were somebody who started collecting a long time ago and you're seeing the modern sculpts now, you're like, oh, because it's just getting so good that you cannot not do it.
yeah.
It's
That's
like,
why I
yeah,
couldn't, like, before I bought, like, say, the Masterverse stuff.
right.
I my There was a big push of the Origins, which is like the old style bodies, but a
Mm,
little updated with more articulation. And I
mm,
was like, those are okay, but I'm just not into getting vintage looking stuff. Like I don't like the old Transformers, like the vintage old like
like
metal crappy
G1s.
looking
Oh, I hate them.
robots.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I hate the I always hated the robots
yeah.
of the original Transformers because there was only a few figures that looked good as robots. But take like Megatron. Everybody loved the old G1 vintage Megatron because he was the gun, but his robot form was horrible. It didn't
Terrible.
even look like the cartoon because back then they just made it into, oh well, there's some eyes and the legs, and then the legs are these like thin, looking. It just looked crappy. So of course, when I had like GI Joe going on in Transformers when I was a kid, I mostly sidelined my Transformers because it was more about GI Joe and the cool vehicles and playsets and articulation of GI Joe versus Transformers not being all that great in articulation. And then I got away from He-Man, but I used some of like the playset stuff from He-Man with my GI Joes, and Star Wars was still part of that too because they were in the same scale.
That's right.
And so you had GI Joe and Transformer, or GI Joe and Star Wars like mixed, because I used to live in a house that had a huge basement, and that whole basement was my playground.
Nice,
So,
nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know.
yeah,
That's funny. That's funny. Well, let's have a look at something. I'd love to get your opinion on some of these. Let's see if I can share. This is all, it's funny. Like every now and then you feel every bit of your age.
oh yeah,
And this is where I feel every bit. So can you see the toy arc screen when I do this?
I see. Yeah, I see like the BBTS News, Marvel Legends,
Toy
it.
Arc. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. First of all, are you so do you stream? Are you like a streamer? Do you watch like so there's a new TV show coming out, which I'm sure you're aware of, called Welcome to Derry on HBO. It's kind of like a prequel to It. And I think it's, because I think in the book Pennywise comes every, I don't know what it is, 60 years or something like that. So
Like,
this is the 60 years prior to the 1980s version that we saw in the movie. Um,
I did not hear about this, but I
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
to, so
So,
I'll be able to watch it.
yeah, so it looks good, dude. It looks really, really good. So this to me is kind of something that really caught my eye.
Oh,
So
they're finally doing a Hot Toys version of it.
yeah, of the Killing Joke. And this to me is one of my favorite, um, absolutely one of my favorite Joker storylines and Batman storylines in all of Batman. Uh, just one of the most sadistic ones. And really, to me, arguably for me, the greatest Joker. And I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I will freely admit, because I'm going to get roasted if I get this wrong, but this is Mark Hamill, right? As the voice of the Joker.
Well,
Um,
he played Joker in some animations. I don't know all of it either because I don't follow all the DC stuff, but I know I think he did voice the Joker in whatever this Killing Joke story was done in animation. I think he did that. That
yes.
that sounds right. But I think like he also maybe did the voice of Joker in like one of the Batman video games or something too. I don't know for sure, but
And this to me is the coolest pose here. By
yeah,
oh, whoa, whoa, oh,
my
wait, we get it
cousin,
better.
I remember my cousin
Oh.
getting this comic book, and because he was more into like Batman and Joker and DC stuff back in the day more than me.
So my take has always been, I wonder if what your opinion would be, but so here's my thing. I always thought that Marvel had the better superheroes, but DC had the better villains. I always found the villains with DC were more complex, better layered, more nuanced, and just more depth versus Marvel. Anyway, that was always my take.
I can't like really truthfully say that because I never was into DC comics as much, but I watched the back in the day, um, superhero for the what is it, the Super Friends and the Legion of Doom, and
Right.
I watched all that and I liked it, but I just wasn't like when I got into comics, it was more just about Marvel for me. And I didn't really have an opinion whether Marvel villains or superheroes were better than DC superheroes and villains. I never looked at it that way. I just liked who I liked because I still liked DC, certain heroes and villains from DC. But I was never really a big Batman fan. I was
Okay.
more of like um, Green Lantern, Flash, Firestorm, like the other like people in the universe, but not but I never really looked at it that way, except where somebody has to throw in, well, Superman can beat everybody, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I like the Hulk, you know. But it's like all of it's like just whatever because when they do those, try to do those grounded, realistic comparisons, and it's like, but it's all fake. It doesn't matter. You can't if you tried to take Superman and put him in the Marvel universe, some things would kind of have to change, and it wouldn't be just a direct like, well, whatever he does in the DC universe, he will do in Marvel universe. It would change, and then the
Yeah.
same thing. You go back, you try and put Hulk in the DC universe, he may not be as the same as he is in Marvel, where he can be this. The madder he gets, the stronger he gets. He's a strong, whatever. It would change, but everyone wants to have their opinion on who the best is, and it's just like who you like, and in your mind or in the stories, if it happens, if they do these crossovers, and it's only going to be for that instance, and it's not going to be forever, that whoever beat this person the one time is that's it, you know. It's just gonna, you're gonna always have these storytellers that just can make it different with
Yeah,
a different ending. You know, if
yeah,
they decided to kill somebody off, then they can kill somebody off.
yeah. No, you're. I can't agree with you more. So, what do
Yeah,
you think of this Vincent
Hulk is
Price?
my Hulk is my favorite too. Oh man,
That's
that is
awesome.
a spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no crystal ball Vincent Price, but but
This
that's,
this is the
oh
only
man,
one that's weird to me. This is terrible. This face is
younger
terrible.
Vincent Price.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that's younger Vincent Price. No,
Well,
this one's
he ain't got gray in his hair, so younger, but not young, young. But that one's the best one. That
oh
it's
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And with the cat, so what's interesting about Vincent Price is, of course, he's famous for this great British voice and this great British accent, which was not at all his actual accent, right? Like he was 100% American
yeah,
and learned how to speak kind of this anyway, just
he
great.
made
So
his own accent up basically.
yeah, 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 which was just fantastic. But anyway, so this is such a cool, but again, when people say, "Oh, toys are not for adults," and I'm like, dude, there's no kid who even knows who this is. And
None
then
of these are for kids.
right,
None
like
of these, unless you're just the kid is so like able to get into this on his own, because no parent is really convincing any kid that this is cool to get.
And also the cigarette is beautiful.
Yeah,
I
it's
fucking
like, yeah, I want
love
my kid
that.
to have this guy with the cigarette in his hand.
I just love it, dude. You know, yeah, yeah. So that's, oh, and then you saw, of course, now I know this is up your alley.
I
And
just
I got,
I
go ahead.
just ordered those.
Did you?
BBTS had the Hordak in stock, so I canceled my Walmart order. That it wasn't
Okay.
even showing shipping till October, and it was supposed to be an exclusive for Walmart for a certain amount of time. But then everyone started getting him. But then they put the other two up. Those are pre-orders, which are supposed to ship this month from BBTS, but Kaz got them from Amazon already, or he got the Cobra Con. I think he got, who was showing the Cobra Cons.
Oh, that was Daredevil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Kaz said he ordered the Cobra Con from Amazon and it shipped already, but he didn't want the Tila because of the diaper butt. But I told him that's a
What?
skirt. I said that's a skirt. It's not. They're not like pant or like shorts or a
It's
onesie
like,
or,
you mean the line here?
no, the white skirt. Like
Oh, I
if
see. Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
look for
Okay.
the, I don't know if you can find a backside of her.
Let me see. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe not.
That
They were just
first,
front. Oh, here you go. Keep going. Yeah.
That Hordak is
Yeah, I
great.
would say that is the last Hordak that came out with the from the Netflix series one. He had too much of the long skirt, so you can't really pose him. But this one's the best one so far.
Oh yeah, it looks great. This guy's cool too, actually.
Yeah,
I have to admit. Yeah, yeah. When Daredevil was showing him, I was like, damn. And then he was showing this spit
yeah.
effect. I thought that was pretty neat.
I only
Okay, so
want
let's.
those guys for, yeah. Here she comes. Yeah, this is like the, I guess Daredevil was saying kind of like a homage to the He-Man. Was it 2000X or 200? What is it?
Yeah,
200.
yeah. 2000X.
See, right
2000X.
there
Yeah.
is where he's like, "Oh, she's got diaper butt."
What?
That's just the end of
Mm,
the skirt. He's like, "Oh,
yeah.
really? It kind of looks weird." It's like, no, she has an ass
Okay.
under that. That's not her
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it, but see, and this is the beauty of it, right? Is that it's like like you can show the same figure to like 20 guys. I always say this at the office. You could put 10 lawyers in a room, give them one case, and somehow they come out with 10 different opinions. You're like, how's that
Yeah,
possible? Like you're
yeah.
all looking at the same case, right? Now here's one that I don't understand.
It's
Um,
just an old line that they're now updating. I guess they never made the tiny figure. The guy on the right,
this
he
guy
died.
here.
But yeah, he died. I think shortly after the movie. from Devil's, or was it Devil
The
Reject
Devil's Rejects. Yeah,
or
that's
House of a Thousand Corpses? I don't know if he. I can't remember if he was in the second movie, or if he died after House of a Thousand Corpse.
that is not my. I have to admit, like that kind of I call it torture porn. Has never been my shtick.
There's no porn in it, just to let you know.
No, 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 but it's no, no,
Oh,
but it is, but it's kind of like Hostel, right? Like there's no porn in it, but you're kind of getting off on like just how much can you, how many eyeballs can you pop out of a head? And at some point you're like, now
yeah,
this, I've been ranting and ranting in a good way. I've been shilling or fanboying over this ever since they showed it. I think
I
this is, oh,
I wish Masterverse did this version with Swiftwind.
I mean. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, this is so, so, so good. So now yesterday was the first time that I heard a price on it. So it's $700.
No. Woo!
This is
Wait,
what,
this is Mondo, right?
yeah. Like I think
Well,
that's what. Hold on a sec. Let's see what it's saying up here. So I think that's what what's his name was saying. Who's the gentleman? One Soundwave.
new Soundwave, yeah.
There it is. So Shira priced at 260, Swiftwind priced at 599, bundle 795.
I don't know why Swiftwind would be $600 though.
Right. Well, so apparently this Swiftwing, if we look at the, let's see, there's a dimension somewhere.
But he comes with the others, those little
Yes, but look at
characters.
it. It's 54-inch wingspan.
Dude,
That's
you're gonna have problems fitting that next to your dragon.
exactly, dude. Impossible, right? Like totally impossible.
See, that's why we need this at 112 scale, not 1/6.
I agree. No, no, I agree. Like, even though it's the most beautiful thing I think I've laid eyes on in quite some time, I'm like, and it becomes that. I guess, well, you're a HasLab guy, right? So you start getting into like, I've got four HasLabs, Star Wars HasLabs that will never come out of the box unless I conscientiously
I
decide
have
that I
no
want.
HasLabs. I'm
Oh, you have
trying to
no
get my
HasLabs?
first one with the
Oh,
Snowcat. I
oh,
back in the day I pre-ordered the Hiss, and then
right.
I decided I didn't want it because I was doing that FOMO thing where I'm like, I just want to get it. But then I figured out like I don't really like the Hiss, and I didn't like the three different tank driver figures, and then you had the Cobra Commander because it was just too all the same for me. Like the
Okay.
figure, those Hiss drivers, but I was like, the Hiss tank, whatever. It's a Cobra vehicle. It's cool, but it wasn't a vehicle that I wanted to put in my collection because I know the vehicles are going to take up too much room. So it had to be really ones that I really like to get. So Dragonfly was the next one. I
Hmm.
pre-ordered that, and then last minute I canceled it because, again, it wasn't a favorite. I had it. I did like it when I was a kid, but again, it's like over 3 feet long. Where am I going to put this thing?
Yeah.
It's not a favorite vehicle of mine, so I passed on it. And then the Rattler, I did not want to get the Rattler. I did want Wild Weasel, and I wanted the Baroness figure from it, but it wasn't enough. And I thought it was kind of a punch in the gut with the whole patches thing. So now the Snowcat came out, and I'm like, I love the Arctic stuff. I love the Snowcat. It has characters in it that I like. I wasn't expecting the bivouac campsite thing, but that just goes along into them trying to do the playset thing, starting off with playset stuff now. This would be the kind of, well, maybe the second, because then you had those Cobra and GI Joe like porta potty things.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
this is now starting to actually have play sets coming out, and so I was like, this is cool because this is, I love all art, anything Arctic, and then aquatic. Those are like the things I want to focus on for vehicles, and then any whatever actual play sets they may come out with, depending on what it is, then I'll look into possibly getting those later.
So let's take a, so that's speaking of which, so now we know it's funded. So you're Indo no matter what tier you're at, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna just let it go. I was thinking, no, if it didn't fund all the way, I would cancel it. But at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let it go if it stays over 8,000.
Yeah, yeah, which I think,
I
and
think
there's
they're at
certainly.
8,400 something
So
now.
let's check
Yeah,
now.
8,474.
Yeah, where's the number? Sorry,
It just it's
did
like
I pass it?
yeah, click the all either accept your cookies. That
Oh,
little bar at the
accept all. Gotcha.
yeah. There
Oh,
you
there we
go.
are. Thank you. So 84. Okay, so unlikely to get to the 14,000, but at least listen, you really you're the camping gear, whatever, you can get that anywhere.
Yeah,
Honestly, you can get that at craft stores, but the vehicle's pretty sweet
yeah.
actually.
They did say they were going to make the bivouac the regular version, not the Arctic version, later. I don't, and which is weird how they would announce that when it's like usually they're like it has to fund, and then 3 years later we'll make we'll
Right,
remake.
right. Yeah, I don't know why they would do that. It's kind of like cutting your own legs off in a
Yeah,
sense,
but
right?
I just hope it can at least get to Flint because then because I don't want to just get Lady J without Flint in Arctic gear because they're kind of like a pair item for me. But if it's just Lady J, which is most likely could happen, um,
Oh, Flint's 14,000. I thought it was the other way around, brother. I thought it was 12 was
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
Flint and then
They
ooh.
should have they should have like I don't know took all the fishing and ice gear or whatever they have on the two characters, put that all in the campsite so that
Yes.
bigger like accessory set, put that at the end, put the two figures with their base with like base weapons and stuff in the first and second tier, or just make it one tier. I don't know. And then just that would have helped. But everyone's complaint about the tiers is of Lady J and Flint. They wanted Iceberg and Avalanche or Quinn or Sub Zero or something. It's like, well, it's better to put like different versions of existing ones so that the main line can get the individual figures and not be forced to get it through a HasLab. Because if they did Iceberg in the HasLab, you're not going to get him in the main line for a long time.
You're right. You've got to give yeah, yeah, yeah. So okay, so that's going to be interesting. So that's going to be your first HasLab. Yeah, but to come back to what we were
Unless
saying, which
people
is
back out and it goes
space.
under 8,000, and then
I
I
don't think
get
they will,
screwed.
though. I don't think they will. I think the people, I'll be honest with you, Frank, I think the people that are in right now, I think they've made peace
Yeah.
with the reality that it's not going to get to 14,000. Right? I mean, I honestly believe that, right? Because I mean, it's to me, it's been pretty apparent from the start here that you were not likely to get it like all tiers. So this is people who want who want the vehicle, and they're not really too concerned about the tiers. I mean, same with this with this one. Like I'm still on the fence. I'm probably going to back this at the end of the day because I'm going to kick myself if I buy it on the secondary market, but. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, really, I'm buying this for the vehicle and the fact that it comes with these two gunners. It's not going to get if it gets to 14,000, it'll be a miracle, right? And
What are the other tiers on that?
the other tiers are characters are a bunch of Jedi characters from. Why am I not? Oh, view details. I'll show you
Oh, I thought
here.
that was it. I thought it was all in one shot. Okay,
No,
okay.
so it's yeah. So Coleman Trebor, Stacey Finn, like which again, like these are like throwaway characters in a sense. I mean, what's funny is with the HasLabs for Star Wars, the carded figures end up being more elusive than the actual vehicle. Um, like even the dragon that I backed for Mythic Legions, people were saying that the character that came with it was going to be worth more than the dragon.
Because and
Yeah.
what tier was that in? That was like in a second or third tier.
Yeah, yeah, that was the third tier. That was like the
Mm.
absolute, and even that dragon barely. cross the finish line to get all tiers unlocked. And people are saying like, "Oh, are you tired of, people?" And I don't think it's that people are getting tired of HasLab or everything. I think my theory is they've been hitting so many home runs in the last 6 months. Like if you look at like the Darth, not the Darth Maul, but his brother, Savage Press. If you
Yeah.
look at like every line has had just absolute banger characters, and so at some point, you're hitting people up when they're actually liking your stuff and spending money already. Whereas before, I think people weren't necessarily picking up great, below average figures. So they had the money to spend on HasLabs. So did you get this at the end of the day? This
Yeah, I was
Sauron?
able to. I accidentally got three, and they were only supposed to allow you to get two because when I put my order in the first time for two, and right before it checked out, it showed like an text error, like I didn't like it ran out or something. And then it's all, oh shit! And then when I went back in, I had to close the thing, reopen it, and then it's like, oh shit, it's still available. So I just added one, and then it took the one, like it showed, went through, said your order's been received, thank you. And then when I refreshed and checked my emails and stuff, I had two orders. One, the quantity of two that I first went for went through first, and then the quantity of one went through after.
Okay.
And so, and then they shipped them earlier this past week, so they'll be here, all three of them.
That's odd. Well, you're not gonna have a problem
No,
unloading.
no, no.
And
I had already I had already had them in mind for my set, my friend
perfect,
that lives near me,
perfect,
and Kaz.
perfect.
But if I
Yeah,
could only have gotten two, Kaz was like kind of on the out on that one. But I was able to get the three. So, and then everyone else was able to get their own um, Cold Slither because,
yeah,
and it's
that's
still
right.
pre-orderable. But so I had ordered two when it went up like that day that they're like, oh, we're putting it up. The early part, nobody could get it. The after the like 2 o'clock time frame, our time, they never put it up, and it wasn't until 3:30. My friend goes, dude, it's back up, it's in stock, to go. And I got my order, my two in, and I was like, well, fuck, who am I getting stuff for again? So I have to recheck with my friends and stuff to make sure they got theirs. But if there's one available, do you want a Cold Slither? Because
I
you're good. We're gonna try and get you Pythona,
yeah.
right?
So
And then
yeah. So
Mephisto.
correct. Miss Fisto, I'm on. Bythona, yes, that's the other one. And then Cold Slither, I'm not a. That's not
No,
my.
okay,
No, Joe's not my. I
all
mean,
right.
having said that, if you are unloading it, I suppose I could grab it for a friend of mine that's probably like a Cold Slither fanatic. But
Well,
but
I
yeah,
was
well,
talking to somebody in our circle to possibly get for a gift for someone's
perfect.
her husband.
Perfect.
Gift.
So,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, that's the Pythona. This rogue, man. Holy.
I'm okay with it. Everyone's like the face sculpt isn't the best like face for like the expression. Not that the sculpting is bad. It's not bad. It's just the expression is not the best one for that. But that,
Right.
at least
Okay.
that's what everyone's like complaining about. I'm okay with it. It's better than any other rogue. I might at least the body of any other rogue that I got, which is kind of the same body as the Shauna She Devil right there. They just swap things around in different colors. So, but I
Oh, I
did
hadn't
want,
noticed that. You're right.
yeah, it's just like all reversed, like top and different colors, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, I had noticed that.
armband versus a leg band, and same knife, same
That's funny.
spear, but yeah, I don't know if I can't remember if they ever made a Shauna She Devil before in the Legend line, but I never, if they did, it was way early on before I was collecting Marvel Legends. But, I got Zabu and I got Kazar, and so I just want to at least complete that little group set of the Savage Land stuff. But out of my set, I'm going to be sending Roughshod the Sauron figure.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
Nice.
because
Nice.
I'm not, you know, connected that he was trying to get Kaz's, but Kaz changes. He's like, the more I look at it, the more I want to keep it. Like, all right, well, Roughshod, if
Oh,
he rescinded his gift, I will send you mine.
rescission,
Yeah,
take backs. There's no take backs. That's funny. But
yeah,
yeah, this is awesome. I can't wait to get this, man.
yeah. I,
Holy.
I, let me know before the end of the month if you change your mind, because then
No, no,
I'll.
no, I'm in. I'm in. I'm in. Yeah,
Okay.
don't worry about that.
I mean,
I don't
kind of
rescind
saying, oh, this
offers.
is in my mind. I'm like, oh, this is so cool that I just want to get it. I didn't get the Dragon Man before, and I'm like, I'm not really. It is very cool. I do like it mainly for the throne,
The base is awesome.
but
I
I
agree.
cannot. I was just like, I shouldn't. So it's because all this GI Joe stuff is coming, and so I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I,
No, I
I
got you. I got you. Thank you. You're awesome. No, no, no. I'm definitely I don't rescind offers. Once I commit, I'm like, I'm committed no matter what. Right?
what else?
So
What else are you looking for
so I'll show you what I just you
over
know,
where you are?
and that's because I'm mostly, as you know, a sideshow, like a statue guy, right?
Yeah.
So that's like you guys actually through all of you guys, I'm kind of branching off and grabbing little like you were saying earlier, like a little signature piece here and there. That'll be Mephisto will be probably my only ever
Marvel Legend.
Marvel Legends, right? I don't so I'll show you what I just pre-ordered though, which I'm oh, first of all, so this oh, where did he just go? I love that they showed it and then they were like, okay, gone. Come
Cool.
back. I actually just had an opportunity to pick this up off a Canadian collector's looking to sell his, and and it was a Facebook marketplace nightmare. So you know what, actually, because that's gonna pop up like that again. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way. And then he at the last second he bailed out. He was
Hmm.
like, "We're good, we're good, we're good." And then at the last second, he's like, no, I sold it to somebody else." And I was like, "Really, dude?" I was like, I was on my way. I was like, but this Frankenstein,
Wow.
yeah. So like, literally, I thought like this was last week. I thought the sale was done. I actually even and I don't know if how you do it, but so if I know the value of something, so this is roughly $1,000 Canadian when everything is said and done, right? So it's like 600 US, but with custom exchange, shipping, all that, you're looking at around 1,100 Canadian. And so if a guy's selling it for 1,000 Canadian, I'm not lowballing them. I'm going in and I'm saying, yeah, that's the value of it. It's never been opened. It's what like I'm not the type of guy to look like I don't lowball people try because I know the value of it. So I gave him exactly what he was asking for, and he still screwed me. I was
Someone
like,
probably came to him going, "Oh, like I want to get this." He's all, "Well, I got someone buying this already," and they probably went, "Well, I'll pay you this much more."
yes,
Okay,
correct.
I'm a greedy
Correct.
bastard.
Yes, which sucks, right? Because here I am doing right and not like but like what's crazy about this is there was actual sound effects that came in the bass, and
Hmm.
the lantern in the base flickered. Like this lantern here flickered, and to give it like an even more gloomy type of
Oh yeah,
probably
like
does.
if you set it out like in a living room where it's kind of dim or dark
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
night,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that
I was like. I was like, "You prick!" I was like, but having said that, in his defense, look, if you can sell it more, it is what it is. I'm not going to hate on you for that. But so I'll show you what I just ordered, and I think you know
have,
already
have
what I'm
you
about to
ever
show.
bought anything from him before?
No,
Okay,
no,
and that's
no.
probably why he was like, I don't know this guy yet. So,
Right, right.
but
Which was a
this.
yeah.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
here,
you
yeah,
told
yeah,
me about this.
yeah. So I just ordered this guy, and what's super cool about him, obviously, and let's see if I can make him. I don't like how you can't. Yeah, let's make him bigger. Oh, if that even. At that. I love how it's got like the Silver Surfer here, Storm there, Stretch. I call him Stretch.
Yeah,
Reed. Richards. I just love like the amount of detail and all the little characters around them. So yeah, so that was my pre-order that went in earlier this week, and then today, yeah, I've got about 10 statues on pre-order right now. I'm gonna get. Thankfully, they're staggered, and then today I went, and I think you're gonna love this one specifically. Uh, go statues. Oh, they're not gonna do it that way. Okay. Oh, there it is. I saw it anyways. There it is. I just ordered this today.
Oh, the old school poster.
Yeah. No, no, no. It's a statue.
Oh, right, but it's the old like from the
Yeah, yeah.
poster
From the
movie poster.
poster. Look at this thing.
That's beautiful.
Oh my God, dude. And muscular Luke. I know he's like jacked here, but I don't care.
Now,
Like,
see, this is what the like in Black Series. You know how in I don't know classified Marvel Legends they'll do movie version of the face sculpts and then they'll do comic versions or cartoon versions. If Black Series focused on that, where they did
yes.
the not to make it like more movie actor like look
Yes.
and just do kind of like that animated or like comic style of a head sculpt, and then
Correct.
I'd be more willing to get those than just like, oh, it's Mark Hamill, or
I no, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I honestly, I actually like the cartoon version oftentimes. Okay, so here's my holy grail. And so this is the thing that I've been hunting the most right now. And in Canada, it's impossible to find. But you could see it was only like $300 Canadian. Right now on eBay, I don't see it for anything less than almost 1,000, which is ridiculous. But this Tuscan Raider from
I love the
Kotobukiya,
lore. Yeah, I love the lore of the
yeah,
Tusken Raider.
yeah, and just the sculpt on this, it's a massive piece. And this is like the scale that I have the Ronin in from Kotobukiya, and I love this thing. I absolutely love this thing. And this is my holy grail right now. And it's funny, right? How people are like, holy grail. It's like, well, it's not necessarily the scarcity so much as it's what is most important to your collection,
Yeah.
right? What's yours right now?
As far as my holy grail,
Like, yeah, like what have you been hunting that you're just like, geez, I gotta find this thing. Uh, uh,
well, I mean, my thing is if I miss like, from my classified holy grail, it's making sure I get the Cobra Law stuff because that
right,
I'm more in the fantasy type of lore with GI Joe, like sci-fi lore, not real world military. I could
right,
care less about being real world military because to me it just gets boring after too much of that. You have people that look like circus freaks in a way, right? From
right,
GI Joe, you have your individualism of their uniforms. They're not all in green fatigues or something like that. And that's the fun thing I think about GI Joe is their code names and all that other stuff. And that's what I like about it. When people complain and say, "Oh, it's too cartoony or it's too this or that," but whether you grew up on the comics or the cartoons or both, they're still. I know the comics leaned more towards the realism or tried to with the fighting and all the weapons and all that stuff, and maybe the stories too, but trying to make it serious, but it just wasn't something I was into. I liked the weird ass stories that the cartoon gave. And of course, as a kid, I was like making up my own shit anyway. So
yeah. I actually, because I'm not a Joe guy, and because I can remember the movie as a kid, and that's maybe like I know there are a lot of Canadian Joe people, but because we're not really like a military heavy country, I don't
yeah,
think military lines ever really screamed at me as a child necessarily. But I never had. I mean, Cobra Law is a funny thing, eh? You're either totally into it or people absolutely hate it.
oh, yeah. Most people I know hated it, Not maybe not back then, but like now as an adult collector, they're like, oh, that's stupid. But I mean, think about it. You have a terrorist organization, an arms dealer that sells to them, Destro, and you have your
Right.
saboteur, you have your ninjas, you have your just all the dreadnoks of all people, a fucking biker gang or whatever, and
Right.
and then you have this specialized military force of all kinds, mixed up, and they just that would never be happening in the real world, the way that they're doing it. But you come with this new villain is basically like I'll be out in a minute, basically like a just a new like over the top threat to the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Cobra was not really like, after a point they were just not doing it much anymore. They were just like everything was getting foiled left and right, and now you need this new villain that's just like out, not out of this world, but it was like these bug creatures. But then now I heard like in the comic, Globulus was more of like a weird scientist that meshed people's like body parts with technology to make, or with other, I don't know if it was like other creatures or something, to like give you these different looks that almost look horrific, instead of like you're this bug creature people of Cobra Law, and now it's like, because they're trying to ground it in the comics, right? So but
Yeah,
I
which doesn't
thought it
make
was
sense.
cool because it's like, oh, now you gave Cobra Commander a whole new origin story by having them connected to the Cobra Law. Like they're the ones that sent them out in the world to try and take over the world, and they gave them
Whoa.
all like all that stuff. So
Okay.
I just liked it. It was weird and goofy sci-fi,
Yeah.
craziness. So, but I get it. Not everybody will be into everything. So
This is fair enough. And listen, my friend, I heard the boss open the door, so I'll let you. And I know you want to take a break, eat something
it's
before
dinner
you get.
time, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But
before you get to Kaz's stream. But thank you so much for dropping in and helping me test this stream tonight and sitting around and chatting. I really appreciate you, Frank.
no problem.
Um,
I
yeah,
enjoy
man.
coming on with you. So what are you practicing for? What do you like? You gonna
I,
just do?
I would just like to. So I would like to get together with a select few people once a week and just really talk about toys and try and stay onto the toy and pop culture, film or whatever, and stay in that sphere and just come at it from learn and at the same time share. It's just, yeah, it's just an opportunity to connect with people that I normally wouldn't connect with, and friends that I'm making in across the community. And sometimes, it's hard to have that conversation in streams that we're familiar with because you've got 10 people on screen, you've got some very strong personalities that type kind of take over, and you're
It's hard to hear mostly.
yeah, yeah, no, that's what I mean, right? And it's just like, and then it becomes less about the toys and more about other stuff. And so,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's that's
it's
kind
all
of it.
good.
I'm trying to pick a night, so I don't know. I think Saturdays might work, but Wednesdays I think is good too. I don't know. It's like you can't pick a time or a night where somebody else is not doing something.
I know, and it's like there's so many other channels too that I used to like watching because they weren't on all the time, and it was just,
Right.
and they weren't crossing over each other. Now it's like it's hard to watch everybody. So I obviously it's Kaz and Roughshot and Virgo and
Correct.
our little group, and then it's like I'll jump out to Rowdy, I'll jump out to
That's right.
Yojo Jerk or whatever. Like I'll have to go on, and sometimes I'll have two or three on my screen, and I'm
Right.
like, I'll turn down two of them and listen mainly to one. I'll switch and turn that one down, and it's like tool
Exactly.
wielding and
Exactly. No, no, that's exactly it,
trying
dude.
to
So
participate in the community with everybody, but then it's like, oh no, I can't. I got to focus on one. Sorry,
yeah,
guys.
you can
Hit the like
exactly.
button, whatever, and just say hi and bye, and I got to move on.
That's
I'll
it.
go
No,
back
no.
and watch it later, right? If it was that interest, like the thing we were talking about earlier with the fight or whatever that
Yeah,
happened.
let's take that off screen. Let's take that
Yeah,
off screen. I would love to hear the details, and I don't. It's not something to get on screen, but I would love to back. Yeah, yeah. I'll message you anyway. I want to get the details because I came in very late. As I said, as soon as I only caught about 5 minutes, and I thought, okay, I don't want to. Like I'm not. I don't want to get into it, or nor do I want to kind of get judgy or judgmental or be influenced in any way. So I just thought I better get out of here. And so no, no. But I want to hear because it sounds like it's pretty wild stuff anyway. So
yeah, it was very interesting. And then just like, holy shit, people are immature.
ah, dude, it's crazy, right? But listen, have a great dinner. Thank you so so much.
All right,
And
thanks for having me.
yes, no, thank you. You'll be on Kaz later.
I should be probably if once I'm done with dinner and just hang out with the
Of
girlfriend for a bit.
course, of course, of course. Yeah,
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 I'll
yeah.
jump on. All right.
Priorities. All right, brother. We'll
Yep.
see you later.
All right. Take care. Ultra. Talk to you later. Bye.
Ciao. Well, that was awesome, man. Thank you, Frank. Doom on you for popping in, spending time, sharing your experience with us, and sharing your knowledge. That's awesome. Frank's a great guy. If you haven't subscribed to him, by all means, do. Now, how do I share somebody? Hold on a sec. Hey, I'll post you. No, how do I? How can you share a link? Uh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just figuring it out, so I apologize to anybody who's still watching. Eventually, I'll get it. But yeah, 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 yeah. So, and thank you for Ultra for hanging out and always being a good sport. And also, check Ultra out on his Instagram. Ultra, definitely the next time I pop on, I'm gonna share your Instagram and show some of those pictures. Love that cosplay stuff that you caught, and I would love to see the rest of the show. So, thanks for popping in and being part of the chat. Always appreciate you, man, and love your support across the channels that I see you on. So, all right, guys, you know what? Thank you again for tuning in. Hopefully, we can do this once in a while. Talk toys, talk pop culture, talk all things good. Keep it positive, and enjoy speaking about the things we love, which is collecting. So, until the next time, take care, everybody, and thanks again, Ultra. Thanks again to Frank, and thanks to anybody